Now let's keep it going for your next comic, Cheese.
I know what you're thinking. I look like if Ish had a problem with his thyroid. Like I could be a stunt double if the stunt was eating a McDouble, you know? I look like the chubby yellow peanut M&M, you know, that if you just drop between your couch cushions and it melted just enough to pick up dust that looks like hair, you know, I look like the knockoff John Cena impersonator that a broke dad gets his dying son when he didn't qualify for Make-A-Wish. You know, speaking of food, I do go by cheese. And I go by cheese not because I'm a cracker, but because I'm always smiling. And I'm always smiling because this is my first time doing the Dallas Comedy Club. I appreciate that. And they say that you never forget your first time. You know? Reminds me of the time I lost my virginity to Taylor Swift. Yeah, those were not teardrops on her guitar. It was a rough breakup. No, but I do want to get this out of the way. I am a first responder, so yeah, I am the first to respond in every group chat. I am very responsive. But thanks for clapping, guys, because it is not easy being on the front lines of a group chat. You know? Like, I am a veteran of the family thread of Christmas 2020. Yeah. Man, I wish I could have socially distanced from that. Yeah, if chivalry is dead, it died of COVID. So, no, I am also the funniest comic that you've never heard of. So have you heard of Shane Gillis? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have you heard of Nick Kissy? So I might be the second funniest comic that you've never heard of. What about Atharva? You know, never mind. I'm just going to keep on naming people that are funnier than me. So what I want to do, though, is say thank you guys for coming out. Honestly, because you could have been at the Dallas Wings game, and you chose this. I mean, Paige Beckers is out there getting buckets, and you chose to come to the WNBA of comedy. I appreciate that, guys. I mean, like, we're relegated to a smaller venue. You do not want to know how much these women are getting paid. It's possible we have at least one lesbian in the lineup. And I would bet money that at any point one of y'all throws a dildo at me. So I'm not surprised that you didn't choose to go to the Dallas Cowboys' third preseason game. Pretty sure that this was the better choice. But I do love my Cowboys. When I tell people that I'm a comedian and a Cowboys fan, they only think I'm joking when I say that the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. So I don't know what that's all about. But my grandpa would always say, hey, hell will freeze over before the Cowboys win another Super Bowl. But at least then Jerry Jones could go ice skating. No, but I am a former football player. I come from a football family. And my dad, he played football in West Texas at Texas Tech. Rackham. Okay, so he's a D1 athlete. And he ended up coaching for the Cowboys. So my older brother, he played football in West Texas at University of Texas in El Paso, which is Spanish for the Paso. And he was a D1 athlete. Now he's a famous TikToker. That's cool. But I played football in East Texas. Like East Texas. Okay, Arkansas. I played football at a school called Ouachita Baptist in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. I promise it's a real place. If it sounds like Middle Earth, it's because it kind of is. To get there, you got to take the wrong wardrobe on the south side of Narnia. But Arkadelphia is the city of brotherly prohibition. It is a dry county. And the thing about Arkadelphia is that it's got two universities in it, OBU and Henderson State, HSU. And it's a dry county, but let's just say during the semester, it still gets so wet that I can't finish this punchline with a clear conscience. But so I played football there, and it was a Division II school. But I felt like I was a Division I talent stuck in a Division III body. So I kind of chose D2, you know. But I only got recruited by Division III schools. Now, to give you an idea, getting recruited by Division III schools is a lot like getting hit on by the last single bridesmaid of a wedding party. They're just desperate for players. And it's not hard to break a verbal commitment. So, no, but yeah, so I did play football there. I was a student athlete, though. I took my academics very seriously, and I had the highest GPA on my college football team. True story. But I might have been the sharpest tool in the shed, but it was still a pretty dull shed. But at least it wasn't a baseball team and be a shed full of tools. You know what I mean? But basically, I didn't drink in college. And I didn't date in college. The thing about college at Ouachita is that a lot of Arkansas girls, the joke was that they went to go get their MRS degree, but a lot of them just ended up getting their STD degree. Yeah, and all the prettiest girls on campus were from Texas. So, and I'm not saying that Arkansas girls are ugly. I'm just saying that if you want to find a dime, you got to find a nickel with a twin. You know? Yeah, and my dentist was like, you know how you know that the toothbrush was invented in Arkansas? Because anywhere else it would have been called teeth brush. Yeah, so I mean, with their smiles, it was either caps or gaps. But you know what I mean? But it wasn't even just the way that they looked, it was kind of also the way that they smelled. And I then learned why they call Arkansas the natural state, and why they don't call it the deodorant state. But you want to hear my favorite pickup line for a girl from Arkansas? Woo! Hippie! Works every time, I promise. Glad you like that. No, but so I actually I'm born and raised in Dallas. I'm born in Dallas, but I grew up hard on the streets of North Dallas. So I am a native Texan, but I'm actually a first generation Texan. My mom, she immigrated here from Wisconsin, and she's actually here tonight. So we'd actually give it up for my mom. So she's a retired tennis coach. So when I wasn't playing football, I played tennis, but now I play pickleball. And if anybody's looking for a doubles partner, come see me after the show. But basically, I kind of got into pickleball because I need the exercise, but I realized it is just not as much exercise. It's not really helping me lose weight. So I'm just thinking about starting a club for fat guys like me and calling it Thickleballers. But I do love me some pickleball. But the thing is, I kind of like it because it's easier when you get older. And I feel like I'm 38 years old. I don't feel like I'm old, but I feel like I'm from a different generation. Here's an example. Growing up, socks did not have a left or a right. Socks were just socks. 200% cotton, unisex socks, right? But now, you have to open a line of credit to finance a pair of Lululemon's moisture-wicking, toe-licking socks that have a left and a right. And I'm not trying to politicize socks, saying that they're left and right. Like socks could be Democrat or Republican. Although now that I think about it, my favorite pair of socks, the right one was orange and the left one did get lost in a closet. So I'm a true Texan though, because I now own a truck.
I know.
And so I had this decision to make. It was either a truck or a Tesla. I was looking at Tesla. And I was looking into it, and I have a buddy, and he is a programmer, and he writes the software for the self-driving cars. And I was talking to him, he says, his job is to make sure that the artificial intelligence knows how to make the right decision in the right situation. So for example, if in the middle of the road there is a puppy or a kitty, just to make sure that the AI knows to do the right thing and run over the cat. But he said some scenarios can be a little bit more complicated. So for example, if in the middle of the road there is a puppy or a baby, to make sure that the AI knows to do the right thing and at least avoid the baby, regardless of skin color. Because beta testing's been rough. And again, he said that some situations can be a little bit more complicated. So for example, if in the middle of the road there's Jerry Jones or Nico Harrison. To make sure that the AI knows to do the right thing and get that Cybertruck to haul ass over both of them. All right, guys, I am Cheese Got Jokes. Fire Nico, pay Micah. Love y'all, be breezy, and stay cheesy. Gonna bring up your next comic. My good friend, Nick Kissy.